ci sia il fiume, un fiume che scorre.
Sta cadendo l'albero! Guardate!
On a serene summer night along Italy's Emilia-Romagna coast, the tranquility of sleeping families and lively beach clubs was shattered by an unexpected natural disaster. This script takes you through the events of August 24, 2025, when a violent storm transformed a vacation paradise into a scene of destruction, serving as a stark reminder of nature's unpredictable power. Imagine a peaceful evening on Italy's picturesque coastline. The air is warm, the stars are out, and the gentle hum of summer nightlife fills the air. Families rest in their homes, while tourists enjoy the vibrant beach clubs. But at 4:30 a.m., this calm is obliterated by a sudden, ferocious storm. Winds howl like a runaway train, trees splinter, and rooftops are torn away. By morning, the idyllic coast resembles a battlefield. This wasn't a tropical storm in the Caribbean or a tornado in America's heartland. It was Italy's Emilia-Romagna, battered by a rare and devastating weather event. In the pre-dawn hours of August 24, 2025, a catastrophic weather event struck Italy's Emilia-Romagna coast. Meteorologists identified it as a downburst, a powerful column of sinking air that unleashes hurricane-like winds. With gusts exceeding 75 miles per hour, the storm tore through coastal towns from Ravenna to Cervia, extending to Rimini and Milano Marittima. These areas, famed for their sandy beaches, upscale resorts, and lively summer scene, were caught unprepared. The storm's ferocity was relentless. Roofs were peeled off homes, windows shattered, and century-old pine trees crashed to the ground. The sound was apocalyptic, a deafening roar of wind, torrential rain, and hail that locals likened to machine gun fire. Streets transformed into raging rivers within minutes. Floodwaters submerged cars, inundated underpasses, and forced the closure of coastal highways. One resident described the noise as akin to a jet engine ripping through the trees, while another recalled the terrifying sound of pine trees snapping in succession, shaking the ground like an earthquake. For those trapped indoors, there was little to do but hunker down, hoping their homes would withstand the onslaught. As dawn broke, the full scope of the devastation emerged. Milano Marittima, a beloved seaside resort town known for its pine forests and bustling beach clubs, looked like a war zone. The downburst winds, clocked at over 75 miles per hour, had uprooted hundreds of trees, leaving entire neighborhoods blocked by fallen trunks. Power lines lay tangled across highways, and emergency crews scrambled to respond to countless distress calls. Beachfront businesses, once the heart of the town's tourism, were reduced to rubble. At Papete Beach, a renowned club, rows of umbrellas, gazebos, and sunbeds were mangled into heaps of debris. Wooden boardwalks were splintered, and parts of beachfront structures collapsed under the relentless wind and water. The storm also crippled transportation. On the Rimini-Ferrara rail line, a massive pine tree fell across the tracks, halting a passenger train carrying 23 people. The once vibrant resort town, filled with the sounds of laughter and music, now stood silent, strewn with broken glass and twisted wreckage. This disaster serves as a wake-up call, not just for Italy, but for coastal communities worldwide, underscoring the vulnerability of even the most idyllic destinations to nature's wrath. In the wake of a fierce storm, emergency crews sprang into action, evacuating stranded passengers in the pre-dawn hours. Firefighters worked tirelessly to clear debris from train tracks, ensuring safe passage. The urgency of the situation was palpable, with responders braving harsh conditions to assist those in need. The storm's wrath left entire neighborhoods without electricity. In the regions of Ricksville and Curventon, power lines succumbed to the elements, plunging homes into darkness. Residents adapted by using flashlights and candles, creating an eerie glow in the affected areas as they navigated the blackout. Morning revealed a transformed landscape, with residents waking to scenes of chaos. Streets were blocked by piles of fallen trees, some stacked high, resembling a forest ravaged by heavy machinery. One local described the devastation as akin to a natural bulldozer tearing through their community. Miraculously, no fatalities were reported, a fact local officials hailed as extraordinary given the extensive property damage. By mid-morning, the sound of emergency sirens filled the air along the Riverton coast. Firefighters, police, and volunteers launched a coordinated cleanup and rescue operation. Their efforts focused on clearing roads and ensuring the safety of residents trapped by the storm's aftermath. The storm battered Marittima, a vibrant tourist hub south of a major coastal city, known for attracting both local and international visitors. Meteorologists recorded an astonishing 3 inches of rain in just over an hour, overwhelming the city's drainage systems. This led to severe flooding in 5 major underpasses, with one dramatic incident trapping a vehicle underwater, requiring a swift police rescue. Floodwaters surged across intersections, stranding cars and bringing traffic to a standstill. In the nearby town of Sassara, firefighters responded to multiple calls throughout the night. A particularly harrowing moment occurred when a massive tree crashed onto a bungalow at a crowded campground, forcing families to evacuate in torrential rain as crews worked to secure the area. Downed power lines sparked widespread outages, leaving parts of Sassara in complete darkness. Authorities acted quickly, closing roads to low-lying areas and urging residents to remain indoors until the situation stabilized. The storm's ferocity extended beyond the coast, impacting smaller inland towns with equal force. Winds exceeding 70 miles per hour tore through the region, toppling over 260 trees in the Sorona area alone. Entire streets were buried under branches, requiring firefighters to deploy chainsaws and heavy machinery to clear pathways. Residents found their vehicles either crushed by fallen trees or trapped behind walls of debris, severely disrupting daily life. Rail services between Marittima and Ravello were halted after trees fell onto the tracks, stopping a passenger train in its path. Travelers were safely escorted off, but the disruption highlighted the storm's far-reaching impact. Water supply failures in parts of Sorona forced officials to deploy water tankers to provide clean drinking water to affected neighborhoods. For the residents of the Romana coast, the storm was more than a weather event. It was a stark reminder of the vulnerability of coastal communities. Local mayors implemented emergency measures, closing pine forests, public parks, and coastal roads until safety inspections could be conducted. The coastline bore the scars of the storm. Beaches were stripped bare, sunbeds and umbrellas buried under sand and debris, and once lively tourist areas stood deserted. As the sun rises over the Amara coast, the full extent of the storm's devastation becomes clear. The once pristine shoreline and surrounding towns bear the scars of nature's fury, with debris scattered across roads, homes, and beaches. Commentary: this opening sets a somber tone, emphasizing the storm's impact while setting the stage for the community's response. At first light, emergency teams spring into action across the hardest-hit areas: Portoville, Marisola, Crestano, Bellamari, and Solara. Firefighters work tirelessly, clearing blocked roads, sawing through massive fallen oak trees, and pumping water from flooded underpasses. Helicopter surveys reveal vast stretches of forest leveled, with paths of uprooted trees cutting through residential areas and coastal properties. The sight is staggering, with homes and businesses buried under debris. Town mayors activate emergency operation hubs, coordinating police, firefighters, and community volunteers. These centers become the heartbeat of the recovery effort, ensuring resources are deployed efficiently. Helicopters buzz overhead, directing ground teams to remote areas cut off by debris. Their aerial perspective is vital for prioritizing rescue and cleanup efforts in the most isolated regions. In Crestano, water trucks deliver potable water after the storm damages local systems, leaving neighborhoods without access. Utility crews race to repair the Solara-Portoville rail line, closed due to fallen trees, while electricians work to restore power in towns like Marisola and Bellamari. Local residents step up, wielding chainsaws, shovels, and trucks to clear rubble. Neighbors check on vulnerable residents, sharing supplies like food, batteries, and generators. Along the coast, shop owners sift through wreckage, salvaging what they can. Rows of shattered beach chairs and collapsed kiosks signal months of lost income for these small businesses. Despite the destruction, local leaders express relief that no lives were lost. The mayor of Crestano notes, We can rebuild what's broken, but lives are irreplaceable. The rapid response and a bit of luck prevented a worse outcome. By midday, the sounds of chainsaws and utility trucks fill the air. Residents and professionals work side by side, clearing debris and restoring order. The Amara Coast communities, though battered, demonstrate their strength and determination to recover. As emergency teams and residents worked tirelessly to restore order after a powerful storm, the economic fallout began to emerge. The coastline of this bustling region, a magnet for summer tourists with its pristine beaches, vibrant resorts, and lively nightlife, was left reeling. In mere hours, areas known for relaxation and joy were transformed into landscapes of destruction. In coastal towns like Marittima, the storm wreaked havoc on beachfront establishments. Beach clubs, once vibrant with activity, were reduced to ruins, with rows of umbrellas and cabanas torn apart by ferocious winds. Owners now face repair costs estimated in the tens of thousands, a daunting prospect for small businesses. At the renowned Sandy Shores Beach, managers liken the aftermath to a war zone, with splintered wood, mangled metal, and debris-strewn sands. Many business owners had poured resources into preparing for the peak summer season, only to see their investments obliterated in under an hour. Hotels along the shore reported a surge in cancellations as floodwaters inundated parking areas and fallen trees blocked key access routes. Restaurants and shops, heavily reliant on seasonal visitors, were forced to shutter, with some resorting to candlelit service amid prolonged power outages. Local tourism boards expressed concern that the storm, striking at the peak of the August vacation rush, could lead to millions in lost revenue. For communities dependent on summer income to sustain them year-round, this represents a significant economic setback. Beyond tourism, the storm devastated agriculture in the surrounding hills. Hailstorms battered orchards and vineyards, while flash flooding and fallen trees endangered olive groves and small farms. Farmers reported entire fields of crops destroyed, raising concerns about a drastically reduced harvest. In a region where local produce is both an economic driver and a cultural cornerstone, these losses strike at the heart of community identity. As morning light revealed the full extent of the damage, the region bore scars of the storm's fury. Roads obstructed by debris, homes battered by wind and water, and beaches stripped bare. For many residents, the night was a stark reminder of nature's unpredictability. Yet, amidst the devastation, signs of resilience emerged. Communities began the arduous task of rebuilding, demonstrating an unyielding spirit in the face of adversity. This storm is not an isolated incident but part of a growing pattern of extreme weather events worldwide. As these risks intensify, the importance of preparedness, awareness, and collective action becomes ever clearer. What would you do if a storm like this struck your community in the dead of night? Share your thoughts below. For more updates on global weather events, like, share, and subscribe. Stay safe, stay prepared, and stay informed.